It's Week 10 of the 2022 season. And up next is Xavier Howard. He's been one of the NFL's best ball hawks this season with 9 interceptions. It's the Dolphins and the Browns, and it's coming up next on Madden Football.
From beautiful South Florida, there's a look at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Today we hit Week 10, and we've got a good one in store between the Cleveland Browns and the Miami Dolphins. Hi, everyone. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. Charles, you look at the Dolphins as they enter play in this one. They come in feeling good after back-to-back victories. Meanwhile, for the Browns here, they come in off a loss last time out, but they've been playing better than 500 ball the last couple months. 5 wins in their last 8 games. Starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. The Browns on their way out now for the first time, and we'll also get a look at the player brought in from Houston to run this offense, and that's Deshaun Watson.
And you've got to think that they've got to be feeling pretty fresh. You know, coming off of the open week, didn't have to play, right? Gives them a chance to rest up a little bit, heal some of those aches and pains, and excited about playing again. That really rekindles things a little bit. I want to see how they come out and establish themselves here early.
And that bye week coming right where they want it, in the middle of the schedule. First carry now for Kareem Hunt. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on first and second down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
On second down, right back to Hunt. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24. This defense for the Dolphins, they put together a strong effort last week in the win over Chicago.
And what keyed their victory? The pass rush. Got to the quarterback 6 times for sacks, and plenty of other turbulence in the pocket for him as well. Hard to throw the ball downfield, but all you're seeing is opposing jerseys come at you.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. And Bojorquez on to punt as he gets it away. Here's Hill on the return. And that'll be a return of 12 following a very nice punt. And it'll be Dolphin football. And here comes the Miami offense now, and it's the Southpaw in his 3rd season at the wheel for the Fins. Quarterback Tua Tagovailoa.
And I thought it was a really nice performance last week by him. 3 touchdown passes. I think that signifies exactly what he was getting done. He did have the 1 interception.
But that's the ratio you say you're okay with, right?
If you go 3-1, you're going to be pretty happy over the course of the season. And let's face it, he'll never blame the receiver publicly. But behind closed doors, he probably told his agent, hey, what's the deal? I should have a perfect game.
Now the pressure gets there, and Tua's going to be taken down. In for the sack, Myles Garrett. So that time, Charles, quarterback helpless really in the pocket in the face of a pass rush like that. They were on him instantly. Throwing on 2nd and long. Tua. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line. And CD, we have seen some great runs the last few times we've been together, but I think we can at least put this one in our top 5. That was a determined gallop there.
And as a former defender, I can tell you with certainty, those are the ones that have you losing sleep at night. I would not like to be in that film room on Tuesday going over that one. Just a pretty poor effort defensively, and it leads to a big play.
Tua going to tap this forward on the jet sweep. And he is going to lose yardage here. The Dolphins at 7-2 here on the year. Their head coach, he's got them believing in themselves. They've won 7 of their last 9 games now.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Able to slither by. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 18 big yards on that one, and a Miami first. Boy, an effective play there, getting their wideouts involved in the run game.
But they're always hoping on that type of a play that they can get to the end of the line and have a chance to turn it upfield as he did there. That means they controlled the blocking and took care of the defensive end of the outside linebacker to give him that lane.
And I guess I need to clarify, I said getting their wideouts involved in the run game, but of course that was actually a pass as he popped it forward. So a 5-yard run the other way in the wrong direction, and that leads us to 2nd and 15. Tua's throw caught by his receiver Hill. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 3rd catch for him on this drive alone, and it'll give him a first down. Really a solid start here on the opening drive, Charles. He's now 4 of 4, and they're already in plus territory.
Brandon, he's been so precise to start this game, like we're watching an operation taking place right now. Master surgeon at work.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. A run with Mostert up the middle. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. A nice job of eluding the pressure there, scrambling for 11. So 3rd and inches, and this will be the 9th play of the drive. Tagovailoa working out of the gun. And he's got it. Touchdown. Cedric Wilson, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins are on the board first here this afternoon. Both sides of the football in sync early. You force the 3 and out, and then you take it down, score points.
You know what that tells me? They sold their game plan really well. Head coach said, listen, we're just going to stop them on 3 and out. We're going to take the ball downfield and score. But he also told them how it was going to happen. They're going to run this. We're going to stop it. Then we're going to take the ball. They won't be able to keep up with us. And they got it done.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that makes the score 7-0. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. 2nd drive coming up here for Cleveland as they return to the field on offense. Coming off every player's friend, the open week from last weekend.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. Even if you're coming off of a loss as they did, the open week is exactly what you need after you kind of get over it a little bit, right? Rest up the mind, rest up the body, get yourself ready to go. And they have to be eager to play again, especially since they lost the last time out.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll run again with Hunt. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves them with 3rd and about 6 yards to go.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. That's into the hands of Donovan Peoples-Jones. And he is going to have a Browns first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now it's Watson. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely, just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Looking for Cooper, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Javon Holland. And he will bring it back. It's a pick six and a Dolphins touchdown. Still in the first quarter, but what a great start for them. I mean, they controlled the airways, Charles, on both sides. They had the passing touchdown. Then they intercept the pass of the other squad and take it back for another score.
Brandon, I know we have a ton of time left, but what an early backbreaker they just delivered. They're up early, and they appear to be totally dialed in. And that offense, they're forced to run right back out. Still shaking up a bit, but feeling the pressure to put something on the scoreboard. They've got to be careful here.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. And now the Browns coming out on the field.
And there, of course, was a lot of talk about this ball game coming into play. Two division leaders in the AFC. Could this be a potential playoff preview down the line?
Yeah, and I think when you're talking about the talk about this game coming into play, you're talking about me because I blew up your phone all week prior to this one. I was so excited about this game because to me, it's not out of the realm of possibility that these two teams see each other again down the road. I like this matchup. They match up very well against each other.
A first carry now for Nick Chubb. And he's across midfield and into Miami territory. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. They go up the middle with Chubb. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 7 yards there and a first down. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game? Maybe establish the run. I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator.
Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Jalen Phillips from his outside linebacker spot gets him down there for a loss of 4. 2nd and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. Here's Watson. He'll let this go for the end zone. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Watson. Escaping the pressure right. Now on the run. He'll throw it back deep over the middle. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And this offense needed something to try and seize the momentum a little bit. And that might have been exactly what they needed. Now they have a chance to go downfield and score and cut into the lead.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. They'll try to run with Hunt. And this will result in him losing yardage back to the 3. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Here's Watson. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Jerome Baker.
And the Dolphins are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points no matter what. At worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a 1st down. Looking to pass. Tua going right back to Wilson. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
Working with 2nd and 5 now.
A handoff running left is Mostert. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. 2nd quarter from Miami. It's the Dolphins with the football. Could be 4-down territory even if they don't get this, but they need just a few inches here on 3rd. On play action, here's Tua. And going deep for Hill. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. Back deep, Jakeem Grant. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away.
Well, the midterm elections are now concluded, and I think we can all breathe a sigh of relief for that.
But now it's time for midterm football, where we've moved past the unofficial halfway point of the season, and we got a couple of good matchups in the night games here in Week 10. Tonight it's North versus South in California, the Chargers and Niners from Santa Clara. And then tomorrow, Monday night, it's both Charles's birthday, happy early birthday, buddy, and the first primetime appearance for the Commanders as they travel up to Philly to take on the Eagles. A lot going on.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Help me out here a little bit, partner, because what I'm seeing is a passing game that's just struggled to complete anything. No rhythm, no timing. Seems like every pass is also contested well, so give some credit to the defense.
And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Watson to Njoku there for the Cleveland first.
And that's well executed there on third down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They run again with Hunt. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled them up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. Second down, here's Chubb again. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line. This offense so far on third down, they've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 20-yard line. Instead of a 3rd and 1 run, they go pass and they get 12 yards out of it. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Watson. And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete. Well, this drive, they're perfect 2 of 2 on third down conversions, but they need a full 10 yards here. To throw is Watson. To the sideline, he's got the catch, and he kept the feet in bounds. Well done. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Now Watson. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Now, during that run, an injury here. You've got one of those big blockers in some discomfort. We'll get an update when we come back to Hard Rock Stadium. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Grant. A 4-yard pickup, not enough. 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
York able to send this one through. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So a long drive gets them down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. So now the Dolphins set to take over on offense. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A 1st down, a 16-yard gain.
Partner, there's a downside to everything, and the danger of man coverage is if you're locking down your target, you often turn your back to the quarterback and you don't see him. Sometimes you open up a big lane for him to hit you for big yardage, and that was an astute play by him to scramble out, see that lane, and burn them for a 1st down.
On 2nd down, Mostert. And a good push there defensively as they stop him at the 48. Gain of just 1. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the 1st. Tagovailoa going to try and throw on 3rd down. Out to the right here to Wilson. And he is going to have the Dolphins 1st down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert here on 3rd and 3. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 47. They'll run straight ahead with Wilson as he's got this down inside the 40 to the 39. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. They go back to the ground, this time Mostert. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll run with Wilson out of the shotgun. And he'll get it inside the 35.
They suspected that it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
Up the middle they go with Mostert. And a short gain down to about the 33. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time. An 8-play drive to this point. So here's play number 9 on 3rd and 7. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep. Try and throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they run successful.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll send you up to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there, and he'll have stats and scores from a busy Sunday in the NFL. Now a throw right side taken in here to start this drive. On 1st down, Watson. And that is incomplete.
This is a half where not just the coverage, but the entire defense is setting the tone in this game.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Watson looking middle, and it's incomplete.
Well, this defense is going to have to finish the job. There's still a 2nd half that they have to play. But so far, an absolute total effort. They've disrupted the passing game, stressed the pocket for the quarterback. They forced him into errant throws. Everything they're doing has been executed well.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd.
I think it's safe to say that he's made some questionable decisions out there so far. Forced some throws into tight coverage. He's already been picked off in this game. 4th down now, but he was fortunate on that one not to have another turnover.
And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Browns unable to move the chains on 4th down. And it'll be a turnover on downs. Wilson with a first down carry. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a first down.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and turn his legs for a really nice pickup.
And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack.
Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. He completes it to Wilson. And this play comes to a halt at the 33, and obviously that's well short of the first down. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half.
So fourth down, Tua departs, and on is Jason Sanders on the Dolphin field goal unit.
Sanders' kick is good, and the Dolphins will add onto their lead. So a big play before the end of the half to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal. Not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
This will be fielded inside the 5. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far, as we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you two in a minute, but first, let's take a spin around the NFL and see what's going on here in week number 10. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. On now to a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Browns. And not much went right in those first 2 quarters. You can see the numbers on the ground there. Not a whole lot to write home about so far. Meanwhile, for the Dolphins, you get a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And whatever they've done, it's worked, as they have the lead through 2 quarters of play. Both teams likely making their final adjustments before the second half. So, time for us to go back downstate to Miami and rejoin Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started.
This will be fielded inside the 5.
Oh, a good return up past the 30. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter.
And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. And I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Now we'll give to Mostert running right.
And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming.
Now right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains.
He'll get this to his tight end, Gesicki. Shifts by him, and able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
On 1st and 10, it's Mostert. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And on 3rd down, the Browns going to go with a nickel set. Now Tua. Catch made right side by Wilson. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. A Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11. From the gun, it's Tua. And oh, that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground, incomplete. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. This will be caught. It's Waddle. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe it'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper.
And he's going to ball his way into the end zone for the Dolphins score. Jeff Wilson, his 2nd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead is now 24. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. Here's the Browns now. They get set for their first possession of the third quarter. Watson and the Browns now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Off of play action, it's Watson. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Big Raekwon Davis, the man fighting in for that sack. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Back to throw, Watson. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
And those two just have been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. The Browns send out their punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. Now Hill to return it. Well, on that punt, we've got a man shaken up. We'll get an update when we come back to Miami. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. Tua sets up to pass it. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. That one goes for 24 yards. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging into our second half blowout material. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
From the 29, Tua, throw left side complete. That's Wilson. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 18. 11 yards for number 11. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. On the handoff, this is Mostert. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Now they'll hand it off to Wilson. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. That leads us to a 1st and goal. It's a pickup of 8.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. Now they'll throw with Tagovailoa. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. We hear them discuss red zone efficiency a lot, CD, and they almost gave that one up in the red zone. Luckily, they'll have another shot.
And you and I both know that every offensive coordinator, play caller in the league, they take particular delight in their red zone calls because those are the payoff ones. But you can't call a play if your team doesn't have the ball. Got to secure it.
The kick by Sanders is good, and the Dolphins will add on to their lead. I got to think at this point, 3rd quarter, if you're able to hold on to the ball, get 3 at the end, that's all you're looking for.
I would agree with that because right now, this is a job well done by them. In fact, it's almost time for handshakes, a little dap on the sidelines, maybe even start to discuss post-game plans. And for the guys who haven't played yet, go ahead and get loose. Your time is now.
Graham, he will not return it, and his guys will begin at the 25. And the Browns getting set to go. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Watson now to throw. Wide open, Amari Cooper. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. Nice 3rd down conversion and even 20 yards. Well, the margin on that scoreboard, obviously, for them, it looks daunting. But I don't know, Charles. They're probably not focused on that right now. Maybe just chaining together a positive drive with plays like we just saw, giving themselves something to build on.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. And what they have to be careful of is getting glued to that scoreboard, trying to do too much. Because if you do that, you're all but guaranteed to start making mistakes. Just focus on one play at a time and make each one successful.
And they'll work this down inside the 30.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
Looking for the end zone. And it's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Jakeem Grant, his first touchdown on the year. And the Browns are able to cut into this deficit here in the final minute of the 3rd. Such an art to dot the I, just get the feet in right there against the line before going out of bounds.
Such an incredibly graceful, athletic play, but also a lot of practice goes into it. They work on that to make sure that they learn how to train their feet to get down in bounds.
Extra point by York is up and good. And the lead down to 20. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. Still operating with a comfortable lead despite the score a moment ago as they begin 1st and 10. Although a jet sweep to start the drive. And he'll get this one up to the 26. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
Let's go. Hustle. Ready.
They'll run right side with Mostert. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 43 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Again, they'll run it with Mostert. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
So they cite the right guard this time with a holding penalty.
There's so many different assignments you can have in that position, and sometimes you might just be a step too late and have to grab and hold on.
2nd down, this is Wilson. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces, and I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. So a good punt there, but a nice return of 11 yards. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. Cleveland offense making their way out. They were coming off the extra week of rest, but this team started sluggish, and it really didn't get any better from there. And trailing big here in this fourth quarter. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Now it's Watson. Quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Multiple players getting home there, and it's a loss of 2 on the sack. Desperation time. Watson on 4th down. That's to his running back, complete. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
To throw again on 2nd down. Watson. This complete to David Bell. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th. But a nice 1st down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution, even though the scoreboard is going against you. You want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. On 2nd and 10, Watson. On the crossing route, he hits his man, Amari Cooper. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 35. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
And that's going to be caught by Peoples-Jones. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 12-yard line. Here's Watson. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And the Browns are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Chubb trying to get to the goal line, but he's going to be stopped just short at the 1. The Miami defense trying to keep him out. They haven't let him in yet. Can they hold again here on 3rd and goal? Chubb again. And this time he's not going anywhere. In fact, he'll lose yardage back to the 3. And now timeout is whistled as it appears there's a Brown shaken up on the play. We'll get an update when we come back to Hard Rock Stadium. They'll run for it. Chubb, he's fighting, but they're not going to let him in. Stopped at the 2-yard line. They stop him on 4th and goal at the 3. And the Dolphins celebrate their goal line stand. On the ground, it's Mostert to start the drive. And he's going to lose yardage back to his own 1-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
They were just trying to give their offense a little more room down near their own goal line. But this is just going to make things worse.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They'll stay on the ground with Mostert. Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety.
Every team has plays in their book to try and buy some room when a safety's on the table. But a big variable is how does each team deal with the pressure of executing in those situations. In this case, they didn't, and they gave up 2 points.
Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. We said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing, and partner. They do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Watson, quick throw, and he's got Amari Cooper. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. To throw is Watson. Looking for and finding Amari Cooper again. And he is going to have a Browns first down, although it doesn't appear to be by much. He needed 4, and he got 4 on 3rd down. Watson off play action. And that nearly a turnover, but it's incomplete. Oh, fortunate to retain possession there, and it's 2nd down. Watson looks to throw again. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. On the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. A run with Mostert up the middle. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense. countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Second down, here's Mostert again. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. They need to get this to the 24 on third down. A give, this is Wilson. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up fourth down. So they went a little cautious there on third and long.
Man, nothing wrong with that. Remember, they're playing with a lead right now. So getting a first down, yes, that would be great. But even more importantly, take care of the football. No turnovers, no big plays for the other team, and keep the clock moving.
Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So fourth down, Tua departs, and on is Jason Sanders and the Dolphin field goal unit. Sanders' kick is good, and the Dolphins will add on to their lead. Well, ultimately, not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Throwing on third down, Watson. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins. And we talked so much about the turnover battle determining who wins and who loses. This game, no exception. They didn't turn the ball over at all, and they go on to victory.
They look like a smooth operation in this one, didn't they? Because you look at every facet of the game, they handled their business. Offense took care of the football, converted it into points. Defense took the ball away, gave it back to the offense. Special teams right there with them. That's the type of game a coach is going to really love and value. And when they show the film, that's to be careful not to give out too many kudos and kill their motivation going forward.
So for Miami, they continue to put themselves in position for a first-round bye as they move to 8-2. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Cleveland, they'll lose an important one here as that drops them to 5-4 on the season. And they'll try to get back on track next week as they head up to Orchard Park to take on the Buffalo Bills.